Hey everybody, Greg Buckley here again. This is part two of our really good conversation that we had the first time on part one, which was just about 15-20 minutes ago. And the discussion is on how AAA has value for the motorist and the independent repair shop. So I invite you to take part in this open forum, and it's an open conversation, meaning that anyone can participate and join in and put their views and discuss their points here freely on this open channel here on Facebook Live. Please be respectful to all parties involved, and we're here to simply state our case as independents and as a business person. And also, hey, you know what? I am a AAA member. Their services, I think we've all used at some point, and we've become accustomed to seeing the logos all around. What they started off back in the 60s as a membership club supplying maps and advice on travel issues, they've grown into insurance behemoths. Travel. Dave, thanks for joining up again. I appreciate it. Welcome. Also, Carlos, thanks for Carlos Infante, I think was stopping in as well. We have about 30 minutes. We'll try to keep part two. Might be also a little bit more or less time. Steve Powell, welcome back again, bud. I appreciate it. Steve Powell and Dave Bankson, both wonderful shop owners. Steve right in Maryland at Thoroughbred, excuse me. Dave out in Arizona. And he's Jim Holmes. Jim, my next door neighbor. I could wave out the window, Jim, and there you go. Say hi, I think. Anyway, thanks for joining us, James. We're here discussing the merits of AAA and from the motorist side and the independent repair side. We had a really good conversation on part one. Please look at it, review it, watch it. It is a 1.5 hour long, but the conversation ranged from what the motorists are expected to take or be offered versus what the independent repair or the shop that's involved with the AAR system. Dave, hey, Greg, busy. Been a top AA shop for years. In the last, it seems like in AZ, they've put this data mining on hold. That's a wonderful thing to hear, Dave. And hopefully, I know that you're big in the AAA network. But our latest contract, Dave, out here clearly defines what data sets they are going to ask to put into this newest contract. So just be careful. Just take a look at what you have coming forward, I suppose. And again, this might be different. You bring up a very good, hey, Billy, thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. What Dave brings up, and this is for everybody to understand, both on all sides, is that, hey, you know what? This might change down the road. We were hoping to have this change in direction from AAA prior to release of their contract. But as it turns out, we did not see that in the contract. We have been given a contract that really kind of infringes on the motorists, you motorists out there. It infringes on your rights as much as it does ours with the way that they collect this data and what they actually are requesting. And if we went by point, we can clearly see that it's both personal from the motorist side and it's absolutely business from our side. Data sets and information that just doesn't seem fair or right if we wish to participate in. So again, we've all been part of AAA. We've experienced their value. Again, I look at this as a regular card carrying member of AAA from the motorist side, and it's kind of comforting when you think you have somebody on your side. Are there alternatives to AAA? Absolutely. There's insurance companies that if you have full coverage, you have X amount of attempts to tow or towing situations. Roadside assistance is offered. All that is valuable and actually could substitute what you get from a membership like from AAA. Now, if you like the AAA brand and you have the big logo and that makes you feel good, hey, okay, good. Go for it. But what we're trying to discuss is the balance of what we have, the balance to the network that they've built over the decades that includes high quality professional repair centers to what they're doing today is really harvesting information in order to what they would say to be to know their customers better. And actually they're doing a lot more than that. And it seems to be they want as much data as they can off of from any place that a AAA member would engage. So if I wanted to go into and use my discount and show my card at any establishment, whether it's automotive, hotel, restaurant, anything of that nature, I would expect with what we're seeing on this new contract that the establishment would be required to tell them how much steak I ate, what I ordered off the menu, did I order a king bed or two queens, was I in the 6th floor, 5th floor, whatever, all of these points of interest that they could be interested in, are they getting that from other types of establishments that AAA has formed an affiliation with? And we need to get into an understanding of affiliations between companies for marketing purposes. Basically, affiliations allow companies to reach an agreement that we have a mutual understanding that we're going to share data between one another, whether we put a monetary value to that or we reciprocate by participating in each other's network. So if, let's say that AAA and Hilton have an agreement that their customer base, when you sign up and use the AAA discount, they know how many people use the AAA discount. You have your membership number that you record. Much like I have to do with Hyatt, I record my AAA number, and of course that goes into a data set that's specific to AAA. So that information is then shared with AAA. AAA benefits for being part of the Hyatt network and looking for additional information, or to leverage how many AAA members are using a Hyatt account, all right, or a Hyatt hotel. And this is how those things can work. So there's benefits to a degree. However, when you bring it down to Steve Powell is saying, can Quasi wait until AAA opens hotels? That would be funny, wouldn't it? I don't know if they could compete with the likes of the Hilton Group or anyone that would be funny. So, now you got me laughing off track here, Ken. Good job with that one. Sheila, welcome. Sheila Betty and her husband Jim have a wonderful travel company. It's called the Travel Company. And Sheila, what we're doing is we're sharing just a little bit of what the value of AAA is. Versus actually the merits of AAA from the motorist side to the independent repair side. And if we take it deeper, we could probably say that we take it from the business side. Any business that does that affiliates themselves or joins a network controlled by AAA. And again, we're here sharing opinions. It's an open forum with all kinds of participations. From both the motorist side, and we have a travel agent with us. All of these elements are here. It's wonderful to have opinions, plus or minus, so that we are not here to put out anything to be nasty and negative and all that stuff. But we're here to share our experiences as both personal, right here, as travelers, and also as business people. So again, the contract, Sheila, and to all, the thing that and Craig's Car Care, welcome Craig from Texas. Thanks, buddy, for joining in. And he states, no way would I sign a contract that will be used as their own marketing department's tool when they open their own repair service centers on the trust with transparency that we have for 2 decades. Craig is bringing a valid point. Sheila, and to all motorists, and if you're in my local area, thanks for joining in. I really appreciate it. What we're trying to do is just shed a little bit of light on what we've been presented in terms of maintaining a relationship with AAA and what we feel, as you can see on the side panels here, so that um, it's not a good situation because of the amount of information that we're being asked to release back to AAA, and that's not healthy on our end. Keith Katz, maybe we should ask AAA for their database so we can market to them. And there you go. Keith brings up another valid point. Under the proposed terms, we are absolutely experiencing a quote unquote one-way street, meaning that we cannot mine or ask or promote anything directly to a AAA member other than what we've already have in our data in our customer base. But yet AAA can market their services to any one of the members within anybody's customer base. So again, it's kind of restrictive in a sense. But nonetheless, this is what we are bringing to light here on this conversation that we're having live on a public forum here on Facebook, the number one social media site in the world. And we do have guests from California, Maryland, all across the country. Your opinions are really welcomed, and your commentary is great. And hopefully this is what we are bringing to light here. And what I do hope is that fellow independent repair centers can follow this kind of lead now and in the future, and hopefully share your voice, share your concerns, step out a little bit. This is great, but again, it's not to bash, crash, disrespect anything. These are business decisions that we are making on our own. We are just now sharing them with the public, and hopefully future customers or fellow customers, motorists that are in the area that are on the thread that has listened to it. Craig Zale, thanks for joining again. I appreciate it. Craig's Car Cares as well. Sarah asked a question. So I wonder if after using my AAA discount at LensCrafters will obtain my new prescription and raise my AAA car insurance rates. Sarah, that's a good point. As they begin to mine things, what I would look at, according to what I see, my opinion, reading that current contract is that they will be starting to associate themselves with different products and services, and that the expected AAA member will simply purchase through AAA and have services rendered at a participating facility, namely what I look at as in the tires that have been recently added to the language of the contract. And I personally feel that the affiliation with a tire wholesaler will give the opportunity for motorists, whether they are customers or not of ours, to drop ship tires and have us install them. Now you might say to the typical retail customer, well, what's wrong with that? Well, one, margins on tires are very, very small, but that's not the point. The point of it is that we have someone who is, taking the customers from our opinion. They're becoming the ones that are selling you a tire. They're not really advising you on what tires to purchase. Whereas, as your independent repair center that knows your vehicle, how you drive, what your budget is, all of these elements we can give you our opinion on and purchase the tires, offer you a better guarantee, possibly reduce your overall cost of purchasing those tires, instead of you running through the AAA site, purchasing your tires and having them drop shipped anywhere. So just little differences. Plus, again, we're being subjected, I feel that it would be a matter of being subjected to the whims and wishes of a third party who is trying to control not only my customers, but also the attitude and the purchasing decisions of my customers. So, I look at that as a step that wasn't there prior. In fact, it wasn't even mentioned on any road shows that AAA did for this. You can still offer, right, Ken, Dan Garlock, thanks for joining. I appreciate it, buddy. Ken is right. Again, for the motorists that are out there, all of these discounts that are received through AAA are simply just discounts. I look at it as it's a value that we all can offer no matter what it is, and we can match anything. So, you know, from a price perspective, it's one of those things where the concern is there, but we can take those and duplicate them on our own. Again, the biggest thing is what value is there to the motorist? What do you feel? Anyone out there who is willing to state how they feel about AAA, what they get out of AAA, how comfortable they are with AAA. And you can comment now, or you know, this will be archived and you can comment later. We're going to run part 2 and probably leave it at that for a little bit. We have approximately 15 minutes left on these segments, and you're allowed 1/2 hour. And again, these are all done from a personal perspective here on an open forum in a publicly accessible social media outlet. So we want everybody to share. This is an open forum. There are no restrictions to join. You're welcome to tag in and also share your thoughts. So please do. In the meantime, we'll keep discussing the merits of AAA if you feel so inclined. And again, starting off back in the 60s, AAA was well known and you know, a brand that's really recognized. But we asked the question is, you know, how relevant are they now? Are they somebody that you know, the younger generation actually looks to? No, no, Ken. You throw those zingers in there, buddy. No. So anyway, we look at how relevant AAA is to a younger demographic, and also to people who are actually driving less. What does it mean to them? Are there anyone out there that wishes to chime in? Someone who really has no desire for AAA, or one that actually lives, breathes, and uses every kind of option that AAA offers? They're kind of things that we want to know to give a balanced conversation here. What we'll do as independent repair centers is we'll pitch in to let you know how these affect, how our situation with AAA can affect you, the motorist out there. So again, chime in if you wish. This is like open radio, open mic night. So just jump in and join in. In the meantime, I'll just keep talking away for the next, I guess, 12 minutes here, if I can, and watch your conversations come through. We've got a lot of, I'm going up and down. Keith Katz, as my service advisor mentioned, AAA used to come alongside repair shops to help provide additional revenue through towing. Now they want to come alongside and help take your income. Wow, that is probably spot on, Keith. And your service advisor is probably a very intelligent person. And just for that, I'm going to tell you, Keith, give that person a raise. But no, it's very true. To our customers and motorists that are out there, AAA, exactly that. They used to come alongside and partner with us. Ouch. All right. They used to partner with us, and that's a big point. When you have a partnership over the decades, we've come from the repair side. We've come to appreciate what AAA has done, what they have meant to the relationship as an intermediary to the client, to our motoring public. And we agreed to their criteria of having a clean shop, professional technicians, and we even agreed to arbitration should or if at times when things just didn't go right. And that we all knew was part of the deal. However, over the last few years, we haven't appreciated the aggressor. Right, Ted Wolford. Ted, right, thanks for jumping in. You know, is the data sharing issue unique to AAA, or are you seeing similar trends with other partners, suppliers, insurance companies, for example? Ted, that is great. And let me introduce Ted Wolford here. While you're on, Ted, please stick around. Ted is an insurance agent. And Ted, what we're seeing is that AAA seems to be the only one acting this aggressively. There are others, other vendors, digital vendors, that will request or actually get into the data set to pick and choose certain information. However, the level of what they go to is not nearly as extensive as what we're seeing from AAA. Excuse me there. Carfax is one that will mine data, but they will only take what they call unrecognizable data, kind of like vanilla stuff. And I explained this on the first part of the video. That what they do is they'll buy a set of data from here and they'll buy another set from here and they'll match it up and put a profile together. Like Carfax, for instance, purchases DMV information from the state of Delaware, as they probably do in all 50 states. So they have the data set, they have the VIN code. And as I explained, your VIN code is your social security number for your vehicle. Wherever that VIN code is recorded, time, date, whatever, they know your vehicle was there. Whether you were with it or not, again, that car was at that location. So Carfax can pick that up, put it to their profile, and go ahead and if you sign up for some of their programs, which I do not, Buckley's Auto Care does not participate in Carfax anything. They'll know you, they'll profile you. So Carfax puts the two data sets together, makes a marriage, you've got a profile. That's typically the way that this all of this software can work. But Ted, from an insurance side, what I explained before earlier in the last one is that there are alternatives to AAA and their roadside assistance program, and you being an agent certainly could add value. If you wanted to comment on how that would operate, you're more than welcome to, because other motorists need to understand that, you know, AAA may be recognized as maybe the leader or one of the top ones. It doesn't mean there's alternatives. And more what we're seeing is that customers are learning the alternatives, which is good. Okay, so meaning that, you know, they could go to their insurance broker or agent and put a well-crafted program together for their family needs, whether it's roadside assistance, towing, rental car, all that for what a motorist would need if and when a time is needed, such as a breakdown. Us being independent repair centers, we would know that, so that we would assist them in getting back to a safe haven, you know, no matter where they might be. So again, these issues need to be explained and, you know, help people understand that there are alternatives. So that's what will be great, Ted, and I appreciate you staying on. Carlos Infante says, I've been with AAA for 13 years, but with AA mandating us to hand over our databases makes it an easy decision to walk away. Carlos, it's very true. It's disturbing in a sense because we have to end these relationships. But again, we're here to protect you, the motorists. We think that that's more valuable than any kind of contract that we can engage with. And when that trust is broken, yeah, it's just not good. Dan Garlock, AA assured Napa that they are not harvesting data to take business away. Napa did 250 in sales with AAA dealers, and sales were up 6%. How do we? Sorry about that. How do we manage our data as we share more and more? We really it's a tough one, Dan. You know what we're sacrificing and what all these companies together are doing. You know, Napa, and I'm in Napa Auto Care. We have some situations that we have to weigh, you know, which way are we going here? Again, do we give away our customer database? You know, it's 250 million. Yeah, it's a big cut, Dan. There's no question about it. Ted, as far as roadside assistance from insurance companies is concerned, generally it's less expensive than AAA and often uses the same towing networks. Definitely a question for consumers to ask. Thank you very much, Ted. That was great. And Ted is a local agent here, and I'll say it's for Liberty Mutual. And he does a great job, so he's got great insight. So there are alternatives. Getting back to Napa and AAA, gosh, you know, I feel personally that, you know, I'm losing an arm of my family in a sense when I break away from this. But again, it's not about us; it's about the motorists and what we're being asked to give away here. It's just way too much for me to actually handle. And we got 6 minutes left on this part 2. We are allowed 30 minutes. We have 31 viewers and a lot of questions going on. I really appreciate the activity. This is a wonderful forum to open up and share your commentary. So it's Steve Powell, so I asked AAA who is getting and signed from allowing us to share membership, their members, etc. Okay. So again, like I said, from the motorist perspective to the repair center side, there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. I would hope that there was change. I know Dave Bankston, and Dave is, you know, out west there, if he's still on, great. But Dave Bankston out in the Phoenix area is a AAA top shop for the last 15 years. And what he's experiencing, I couldn't tell you. But again, this isn't a forum that's here to dictate to any repair center which way to go, signing up or not signing up. We're not here for that. We're here to discuss the pros and cons of what we have seen, what a lot of folks on this stream have been witness to and have been served as a new contract for AAA to remain a part of the AAA repair network. I want to be clear about that. So it's been a little bit disheartening, and we're probably not going to go well against all of our wishes that it would. And it seems to be a little bit strange that we're putting a lot of this energy into maintaining a relationship that some of us have had for 20, 30 years. In fact, I was privy to run into the first AAA registered center just the other evening in Baltimore, or in the Baltimore area, with the WMDA group. And his opinion was that even though I'm prestigiously held as the first one, it's not worth giving up my customer and business data. So that's how adamant that his opinion was. And it lets you know how deep this river is, about the divide, how deep the divide is on this here. And we're putting up a lot of effort. I guess it's out of emotion to try and save what this relationship has been over the decades. But unfortunately, I guess times change. And with the way AAA wants to handle their business and their club relationships, we haven't even gotten into the fact that they're opening up their own centers. They're moving into direct competition, and again, that just adds another layer to it. Do we want to continue giving up precious business intelligence, not just data from customers, which is the most important thing, but business intelligence? And anyone in business understands that giving up your intelligence is going to make you more stupid, and you will soon be competing against a lot of elements that you had just given away freely. So, as a last bastion of gold, our data is supposed to be secure and should remain secure, and for the private use of us only, meaning your independent repair shop. As for what Napa's take on this, Ken, I honestly don't know. I haven't had discussions personally with anyone lately regarding it. I feel as though that their hands are tied in a little bit because of the contracts that they have. And folks, we have about 2 minutes left here for part 2. Part 3, we'll see if we can do that at another day or time. Anyway, we'll have to see. I'm sure that this will probably get around at some point. Hopefully, the best situation will come about, and that at some point we have a lovely relationship all over again. But who knows? It's something that we're not under control of, and we have to wait and see. For our motorists, though, let's get back to them. If you enjoy AAA and you like having all of the elements that AAA has for you, then good for you. You can continue to use the services. As for those of us that may exit the AAA network, you can still qualify and utilize and take advantage of all of the services and pricing that AAA will offer. So you're not losing out on anything. All of the independents the repair centers that you see here on this post or may comment in a later time will be more than welcome to take care of you, offer you the best pricing. Thank you as we start to wind down here with about 30 seconds to go. Thanks for your time. Part 3 will be coming up probably a little bit later. We'll wait and see. But again, Napa continues. Thanks, Dan, for that. Greg, I also sell AAA batteries. Yes, he does. He is Dave is a very big AAA guy. And good for Dave. He does quite well. So again, this isn't to make anyone make another decision. This is to let everybody decide on their own. 5-6 seconds to go, guys. Thanks again. Greg Buckley here, signing out. Part 3 at another time. We appreciate everything. We'll see you.